The chains of habits are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. Alright, so let me tell you about Aisha. At 22, she wrote in her journal, "I will open my cafe by 30. Today, the journal sits untouched next to her blood pressure medication. Her doctor called it stress from unlived dreams. How many of us are becoming Aisha? Hey everyone, this is the Abiwa Impact, where ordinary people like you and me stop being ghosts of our potential. If you are ready to restore the dreams you have buried, you are in the right place. Hit subscribe, your new life starts now. Before we dive in, I need to ask you something. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I'll start my dream once I have more time, more money, and more courage? But deep down, you know, someday never comes. What if I fail? But have you ever asked, what if I don't try? I'm too old, too young, or too busy to change. But the perfect time, it's a lie we tell ourselves. Who am I to do this? And the funny thing, no one ever asks, who am I to stay stuck? I don't know where to start. But here's the secret. You'll never know unless you take step 1. If any of this sound familiar, type guilty in the comments right now. Don't worry, you're not alone. But here's the hard truth. These aren't just threads, they are chains. And today, we are breaking them. Right now, you might be thinking, I'm not lazy. I'm just being practical. But here's nobody admit. Comfort isn't safety, it's slow suffocation. We think we are choosing comfort, but we are choosing slow suicide. Let's meet the people who have escaped it. David, who is 42 years old, he hates his job but stays because it pays the bill. Meanwhile, his idea for an auto repair app collects dust. And last month, his coworker, who is 10 years younger, he launched the exact same app. Now David is watching someone else living his dream. David isn't trapped by his job here. He was trapped by his own fear of uncertainty. Let's meet Sarah, who is 28 and works a safe office job, but also paints stunning portraits. But these portraits have been in her closet unseen for a longer period of time. When somebody asks about it, she says it's just my hobby. Here, David now realizes the pain of regret is far worse than the pain of effort. But yet we choose regret every single day. However, Sarah understood comfort doesn't keep you safe, it keeps you small, and she finally sold her art. And do you know what? She sold 3 pieces in a single week. But the truth here nobody tells you is that fear never goes away. Successful people aren't fearless, they just refuse to let fear drive. Talking about myself, when I published my first video, I was so nervous I almost deleted it. Do you wanna know how many saw it? Just 7 people. But those 7 people proved me I could survive embarrassment. And that changed everything. I didn't die of the embarrassment I felt for the first time. Now let's talk about why we stay stuck. We're going to talk about how our brain actually treats new challenges. Our brain treats new challenges like threats. Let's take some examples. You are going to send a WhatsApp messages to your friend for some opportunities or things like that. you will feel the risks of rejection. You are thinking of joining a class, but you don't want to because you think other people's going to judge you. You are willing to pay some money for your skills, but again start thinking, who do you think you are? You are not a rich guy to spend money on these. Guys, here's something from a neuroscientist explaining this in simple terms. When we avoid something scary, our brain gives a dopamine reward, just like giving a dog a treat for hiding. While talking about our brain, let's talk about amygdala. So what's amygdala? It is a small almond-shaped structure inside of our brain that automatically detects danger. So this amygdala processes social rejections like physical pain. That is why looking stupid feels life-threatening. Our amygdala isn't trying to ruin our life, it's actually trying to save us. When our ancestors faced lions, fear actually kept them alive. But today, that same wiring makes us treat sending an email like a life or death threat. Our brain isn't our enemy actually, it's trying to protect us, but that same fear that kept cavemen alive now makes us scared to send an email. According to Dr. Andrew Haberman, the brain rewards avoidance with dopamine relief. That's why procrastination feels good until it doesn't. Now let's talk about the breakthrough method next. So here is how we can rewire our brain in 4 simple steps. Number 1, the 5-second rule. Next time when you hesitate on something important, count backward like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then move. Your brain can't panic and act at the same time. Number 2, the who cares test. Ask, if I do this and fail, who actually cares? Most times, nobody. And if they do, their opinions pays your bills exactly worth $0. 90% of your fears won't even register to others. The third one, embarrassment training. Do one intentionally awkward thing daily. For example, sing loudly in your car, or dance in a grocery aisle, or wear a mismatched shoes to the gas station. Try doing awkward things. You are not being silly. You are vaccinating against fear. Sounds crazy, right? But that does work to relieve us from the fear that we have. The fourth one is courage conditioning. Let's try this. Return a meal that's wrong. Try to correct someone who mispronounces your name. Or say, I disagree in a meeting. You are not being difficult here. You are relearning self-respect. Dear friends, there are 2 types of pain in this world. The pain of discipline and the pain of regret. You get to choose your pain, but only one leads somewhere beautiful. Your future self is watching this right now through tears of gratitude or grief. The choice is yours. This week, I challenge you to share that idea you have been hiding. Have that uncomfortable conversation and take one step toward your dream. Not because it's easy, because you are tired of your own excuses. And remember, Sarah's paintings now hang in cafes, and my tiny 7-view video led to this channel. What will your first step create? The world needs what you've been hiding, not someday, not when you are ready, but now. Because 10 years from now, you will either be the person who changed everything or the person still waiting for permission. The only question left here is, will you be the hero of your story, or will you be the ghost of what could have been? Comment no more below Let's see who's ready to change the story. And if this helped even one person, hit like and share it with someone who needs to hear it. See you next time.